Camilla and Prince Charles reportedly went to great lengths for their affair. Pulling off an affair is a skill set that not many of us strive to have, but both Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles reportedly got used to the practice. As noted by the New York Post, Ken Stronach, who worked as Charles's valet, was instructed to treat Parker Bowles as mistress of the prince's official residence, Highgrove. Parker Bowles was said to have a guest room at the residence, but once it hit 12 a.m., Charles would switch off the elaborate alarm system guarding his room so that Parker Bowles could spend the night with him. Stronach was then instructed to mess up the bed in Parker Bowles' guest room in order to maintain appearances. Similarly, Parker Bowles' home was reportedly set up in order to maintain the affair. Royal protection officers would notify Parker Bowles when Charles would be heading her way, and as such, every light in the house would be turned off so that he could pull inside the driveway without being spotted, coining the nickname the Prince of Darkness. This all sounds a bit too James Bond, but there you have it. Will Camilla ever be queen? Strangely, maybe not. A lot of us would naturally think that because Camilla Parker Bowles is married to Prince Charles, who will ultimately be king, Parker Bowles would become queen alongside him. Strangely, this isn't the case. As noted by Pop Sugar, Charles will most likely adopt the name King George VII when he is crowned, and Parker Bowles will be named Princess Consort rather than Queen. When the duo got married, Clarence House announced that Parker Bowles should use the title HRH the Princess Consort when the Prince of Wales accedes to the throne, just as Prince Philip was the Prince Consort during his life and marriage to the current monarch, Queen Elizabeth. In a twist, however, Pop Sugar noted that Charles could name Parker Bowles Queen Consort if he wanted to, as he'll have the power to do so. He will be king, after all. So why would he avoid giving his wife this role? Well, the majority of Britons don't like Parker Bowles. In a poll conducted by YouGov, it was found that only 33% of people approve of Parker Bowles, not exactly the support you want when you're going to rule over the Commonwealth. Prince Charles reportedly launched Operation Parker Bowles in 1997. It seemed as though the world would have ended before the heir to the British throne would get divorced, but that's what happened in 1996. Prince Charles and Diana Spencer had separated a few years prior, but after the princess sit-down interview with the BBC in 1995, via Marie Claire, the two were left with no choice other than to call it quits. So what did Charles do once his divorce was settled? Commence Operation Parker Bowles, of course. Yes, that was literally what the plan was called, that was designed to set Camilla Parker Bowles' public introduction in motion, according to the New York Post. This would have been unthinkable for the royal family, and yet somehow it happened. As noted by the New York Post, Camilla and Andrew Parker Bowles had separated in 1995 after 22 years of marriage. After Charles and Diana split, he asked his private secretary to come up with the top-secret plan in May 1997. Camilla started plotting to become the next queen. Lady Elsa Boker told the New York Post of the plan. Diana was out of the way and Camilla wanted more. We all know that the royal family has high expectations for those who marry its members, but a lot of us have asked ourselves at some point why Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles didn't get married to begin with. Why put Diana Spencer and Andrew Parker Bowles through divorces, when the now-married duo could have tied the knot decades ago? As noted by Good Housekeeping, a really strange and quite frankly sexist reason was used as the royal family's justification for keeping the couple apart. Camilla was apparently too experienced when it came to men and dating. Additionally, her background was not aristocratic enough to fit the bill. Lord Mountbatten even wrote about the kind of woman Charles should marry in a letter to the prince during his dating years. In a case like yours, the man should sow his wild oats and have as many affairs as he can before settling down, Lord Mountbatten wrote. But I think for a wife he should choose a suitable, attractive and sweet character girl before she has met anyone else she might fall for. Camilla made Prince Charles her son's godfather. When Camilla Parker Bowles was married to Andrew Parker Bowles, they had 2 children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopez. Now, we all know that Camilla and Prince Charles would go on to have an affair, but before they rekindled their romance, Camilla asked Charles to be Tom's godfather. Yes, the man she'd go on to marry many years later became her son's godfather. Even if Charles and Camilla were not romantic at the time, it was still an odd choice given their history. In an interview with The Times, Tom shared what it's been like having the heir to the throne in his life, more so as a godfather than as a stepfather. Tom shared that while the past was tough, he still has a lot of affection for Charles. He called him sweet and gentle, and further said that Charles is ahead of his time, most likely alluding to the royals' dedication to environmental causes. And if it couldn't get any odder, Andrew is still very much in and around the royal family, as he's reunited with his ex-princess and, yep, he dated her too, on a number of occasions, via Tatler. Did the Queen attend Camilla's first wedding to make sure the Camilla problem was gone? Weddings are pretty much always a good time. The love, the food, the dancing, what's not to enjoy? Well, if you're the person who's captured the heart of the heir to the British throne, your wedding might be seen more as an exchange than as a celebratory affair. As noted by Cheat Sheet, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, Princess Anne, and Princess Margaret all attended Camilla Parker Bowles' wedding to Andrew Parker Bowles to reportedly see with their own eyes that the Camilla problem was gone. They allegedly wanted to see her successfully married to someone that wasn't Prince Charles. If that doesn't scream strange, we don't know what does. In the documentary, Camilla, Making of a Mistress, it was revealed that Andrew and Camilla's wedding was dubbed the Society Event of the Year, so the fact that there was royalty in the audience wasn't that odd. Their personal reasoning, however, was truly something else. People have said, slightly tongue-in-cheek, that the senior members of the royal family were there at the wedding just to make sure it really happened. Royal author Tom Quinn told Channel 5, as reported by Express, there was this enormous relief in royal circles, he added, noting, this Camilla problem had now gone away for good. Camilla Parker Bowles dabbles in ballet. We're all for self-improvement, no matter what it looks like. And while it may seem a little strange to some, Camilla Parker Bowles has picked up ballet. Along with some of her self-described ancient friends, she's said to have a great sense of humor. Parker Bowles has been trading heels for dance shoes and has been taking dance classes from home. As noted by Royal Central, Parker Bowles joined professional ballerina Dame Darcy Bustle and journalist Angela Rapon for remarks during International Dance Day. She shared that her weekly dance classes have her groaning, huffing and grunting, which isn't exactly what we think of when we think tutus and tights, but we love that she's having a great time. Parker Bowles shared that the classes are designed for people who are 55 and older, and while it's not a hobby she's willing to show off, she's been having a great time. I'm very, very much a beginner and probably will always remain a beginner, but I do feel after a year, or 18 months, of doing it that maybe I've improved a tiny bit, Parker Bowles said. But I'm certainly not going to be taking to the stage. Camilla admittedly doesn't recognize herself sometimes. To say that Camilla Parker Bowles' life has been exciting, strange, and fascinating is a grave understatement. She has been in the public eye for decades, and we can't even begin to imagine what kind of toll that takes on an individual. As it turns out, Parker Bowles has been rather upfront regarding her transformation in the spotlight, and in a sit-down with the Daily Mail, she shared her thoughts on the matter. You also have to laugh at yourself because if you can't, you may as well give up, she said during the extensive interview. I sometimes think to myself, who is this woman? It can't possibly be me. So what does the Duchess do to try to keep herself as authentic and grounded as possible? She's surrounded herself with friends who keep her in line. If I ever even vaguely look like getting uppity, which touch would I never have, they would just say, look, come on, pull yourself together. Don't be so bloody grand. Parker Bowles shared. Here's your daily reminder to always keep those friends close, You never know when you'll need them.